We're here with Coach Osanitsch taking a look at the 2021 PSAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Coach, we got back to this point. It took a while to get back to an outdoor championship, but after 2 years, we're here.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm very excited that Shippensburg University has the honor to host this championship on campus. We've gone through a lot of protocols and a lot of steps to bring this meet to the PSAC, and we're really excited about the days coming up here to host a great championship and put on a show.
There's basically 16 entries per event on the men's and the women's side to get the fields to where they were at, and this is providing an opportunity, whereas training may have been unconventional for every team throughout this entire season. It's at least similarly to how swimming just got their championships done recently. It's an opportunity for all of the kids around the conference to compete and have a chance to show what they can do.
Yeah, we're really thankful that the PSAC pulled together and was able to provide us with an outdoor season. The challenges have been great. And, it sounds like a broken record, I'm sure, to a lot of people, but our student athletes have gone through a lot this year. The training has been completely different because we didn't have an indoor season, so we started behind. Then obviously with COVID, you're jumping through the COVID protocols and things of that nature. So that obviously was a giant challenge and continues to be a giant challenge for many teams going into the conference. Limited opportunities as far as competition numbers, things of that nature. So it has been a big challenge to actually get to the finish line, which is in a couple days here, and we're crossing our fingers that we're almost there.
Taking a look at the men's championship race, and Shippensburg has been very fortunate over the years where you just have very well-rounded and deep teams, and this appears to be another example of a men's squad that you have talent really all over the place, and it's going to be exciting to see from the fastest sprint to the farthest throw where those athletes are going to be shining for you.
Yeah, definitely turn of the corner here. I knew going into pre-COVID that we were going to be very strong. This was a team that was going to be very, very good. And then COVID hit, and then we lost indoors. And even with that, this team is, without a doubt, our men's team, I would argue, that might be one of the best dual meet teams in the entire nation. I think we would be tough to beat across the entire country in Division II if you just set us up in dual meet format with anybody. We just have great balance, and we have great talent. We have great upperclassmen leadership. We have great young talent. It's an awesome team. We're going for our 12th championship in a row, and I think that the goal is obviously to win. But in many respects, this men's team wants to see if they can challenge the all-time record for points scored. On paper, we're probably around 274. And I think the all-time record was the team in 2014, I believe, had 278 points. So I think they have a chance, but they'll have to have a great meet and stay motivated. I know there's a lot of athletes that are looking for national marks and things of that nature. So I think the intensity is going to get ratcheted up, and I'm really excited to see what this special group of men can do. So we're excited. There's lots of promise there, and I think they're going to be pushing each other, and I'm fired up for this men's team. Again, just like the women's team, just incredible leadership this year. I honestly, I can't say enough in all my years here, this team, when I would ask them to do something or something in practice or having to do this paperwork or COVID testing here, this men's and women's team this year have just always answered the bell. It has never been a challenge to get them to do things and be responsible and be on top of things, and that has made the journey a little bit easier. And I'm so thankful that we could get to the end here and give them an opportunity for a championship meet.
Looking at the men's team as we do some event breakdown here with you, Coach, starting out just with the sprints and the hurdle squad, you've got a dynamic and exciting group of talent in that field. You've got some young, exciting sprinters. You've got some veterans that are looking to put it out there one more time.
Yeah.
From 100 through the 400 hurdles, you've got a lot of talent and a lot of depth, and people that are really going to be pushing not only each other, pushing each other as much as themselves to succeed.
Yeah, it's a dynamic group. Charles Bowman, our grad student now, he's really looking to get a time for nationals, so he's going to be very aggressive and out there. He's been a great leader and motivator to the rest of the guys. Eric Kirk has just he's had a phenomenal season. He's just fantastic, and he'll be a big factor for the win in the 100 and the 200. EJ Dorwell is back from injury and getting up to speed, so I'm excited for EJ for his opportunities. Stephen Brown is looking stronger and stronger and should be a threat for the 400 title. And then, also in the hurdles, you have Josh Booth, who's just doing fantastic, and Matthew Lenahan's running faster and faster. And there's some talent in the conference and the events. So there's going to be great races. I'm excited for that group. They've worked really, really hard. They've been really, really tight with each other. And I expect some pretty big results.
Those same cast of individuals are among your contributors to relays as well, the 4x1 and the 4x4 notably. And those are areas where you're seeking school records and or, again, the 4x4 would certainly love to maybe get a chance to somehow get back to nationals.
Yeah, I think the 4x1 really wants to break that school record, which would be great. We dropped the baton, we missed it out of the zone 2 years ago, and we were a big favorite to win, so I know that's a motivating factor. The 4x4 also, they'll, even though they'll have events on their legs with the juices flowing by the end of the meet and the excitement in the air, you just never know what would happen. And those guys I mentioned are all on those relays along, and then Drew Daly obviously joins them, our fantastic, talented 8/1500 runner. And Drew, kind of transitioning into the middle distances. Drew will be leading there and trying for the double win, and also he'll be going after a time in the 800. He's really close, to possibly being a national qualifier in that event. So that's his motivation. And then there's Ryan Chicatano. Thank you. Ryan Chicatano in there in the mix as well, and Alex Ermold. So we have some depth there with some great runners. Then in the 5K, 10K, that'll be led by the great Chase McNair. I mean, Chase has just gotten healthy, had a great cross-country season. He's an awesome guy, great leader for those guys, and just gets it done on the track, and he's going to have an awesome meet, I think. Nate Kaplan's in there as well, Aiden Gonder, Hayden Hunt, freshman, is just doing phenomenal. So like I said, we're really deep. We have a really good team. So there's just guys everywhere to be watching, and as far as those events. And then in the 3,000 steeple, we have Ian Sherlock, who has really been coming on in that event, and he has some teammates as well in there, so we expect some points out of that event as well. So on the track, we are very well represented from top to bottom. There really is no holes, and we're excited to see what kind of performances they can put up.
Before we get into the outstanding throw squad, your field also has some outstanding jumpers as well.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the high jump, we have a really great high jump crew with Kenny Ryan and Jordan Winslow and Donovan Hart. Those guys are going to do really well. They've trained really well together as a group. I expect big things from them. In the long jump, not to be forgotten is our freshman, Maurice Mo Whittle.
Yep.
He's so dynamic. He'll be a factor in the 100. He'll be on the 4x1 for us. He's going to long jump, and he triple jumps like he's our Iron Man this year. I'm really proud of him. He's come together really well and done, and he has the possibility of being top 3 in any of those events. So I'm excited for Mo and his opportunities. And then touching on the triple jump group, we're loaded in the triple jump. We have Shamar Jenkins, who's an NCAA All-American, Shaq Mitchell, the senior, who's having a great season. Like I said, Maurice Whittle will be a factor as well. So the jumps are deep, and then kind of attached to the jumps is the multis, the decathletes. We have 2 really special freshmen, in Robert Lisner and Mason Boyd. They've done great. I expect top 4 finishes from them at the conference meet as freshmen. So their training has been awesome. So you can see them smiling a lot because it's just been a great year. Even with all the things that we've had to overcome, the talent is there. They've worked really hard and made things really enjoyable. And also, not to be forgotten too, in the long jump, Nate Reed, who we transitioned to just being a jumper, jab thrower, which is kind of interesting. Nate's consistently been jumping over 23 feet. He'll be a threat to win the conference championship in the long jump. There's lots of names to remember, lots of people to be watching on the men's side. Then going into the throws, I mean, holy cow. I mean, our throw squad alone could probably be top 3 at conferences, possibly, if they put all the points together. It's deep, it's talented, and it's guys that grind and work really hard.
Push each other.
Oh, without a doubt. One of the hard, just an incredible group of men. In the shot put, we have Jake Geringer, who's a senior. This will be his last ride. Cam Stroh as well. Those are probably our top 2 guys in the throws there in the shots. And then in the discus, it's one of our strongest events. Patrick Maloney is just right there on the edge, to becoming a national qualifier in the discus. And then you have the other guys in there, Brooks Bear, Josh Herbster, Patrick Maloney, like I said, Cam Stroh. I mean, it just goes on and on. Then the hammers, even maybe better. And then the hammer, you got back and forth right now between Josh Herbster and Cam Stroh, kind of trading that first place position. But also, the other guys throw the hammer great as well with Brooks and and all those guys. So I mean, it's really exciting. I'm really fired up for those guys. And then last but certainly not least, the javelin. Alex Stimson will be leading that group. We have 3, possibly 4 potential place winners in that event as well, with Mike Folcarelli and
Kroll.
Nate Crowell
And Reed.
and Nate Reed, who's going to also throw the jab. So, like I said, a lot of guys. I think we have altogether, I think we have 39 men competing. So, which is the largest group at the PSAC championships. So, I'm excited and ready to go.